One live.
I got to mute my.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday night chat. Thanks for coming over. I'm going to try to catch the. I forgot to mute this over here a while ago. Got a great panel. We got Blue. We got Pop's Quest, and we got Is Your Six Covered? Matt from Resisted Tyranny said he would jump in here in a few minutes, and I think Johnny Masterdarm's done would jump in here in a few minutes. So we're going to have quite a panel. I'll let you guys introduce yourself, and I'll start with Rick.
All right, appreciate it. I had to unmute the mic there. Thank you guys for joining, watching, supporting TR's channel. Everybody out there in the external, guys on the panel, appreciate it. TR, thanks again for inviting me as well. But should have some fun tonight. We'll see what happens.
Well, thanks for coming on as always, Rick. Pop's Quest, go right ahead, man.
How's everybody tonight? Hopefully you're well. I got some breaking news about my life. I don't have to work tomorrow. Thanks for having me, and thanks everybody for joining the chat. I always love it.
I always like having you on here, man. I'm glad you started coming in on these chats when you get a chance. Appreciate it. Blue, go right ahead, man.
As always, thanks for the invite. And one of these days, I'm going to have to figure out why I look so damn white and like washed in all these damn videos. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing. It's just, and I'm not this white. I mean, I'm white, but not this white. But anyway, thanks for the invite. Hopefully, we have a good chat tonight. Actually, I'm kind of surprised so far. I think I'm up to like 7 or 8 VRs on the giveaway, so that's pretty cool. I actually kind of figured that's what my max was going to be, so it's only going to grow from here. So thanks to everybody that like Pop's Quest, and I know there's some other people that have sent some stuff my way to enter in, and we'll do the update soon and get in on it if you haven't already.
What it is YouTube and Google know that you're a police officer, and since you're a police officer, they make you whiter than white so they can help bias, you know, how white cops are so bad and everything. It'll make sure you come across as a white police officer.
White cops matter.
With the shaved head, so yeah, that's they're profiling against me.
Yeah, you're like Casper the cop.
There's got to be a way to turn my freaking color down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you using for a light?
I just have a shop light up above the bench here. I turned everything else off in the garage.
Yeah, it's probably
need one of them big red heat lamps in front of you, man. Before you know it, you'll be tan like me.
That's right. Well, you might want to go outside or get out of that automobile once in a while.
My one arm's damn tan from hanging out the window all day.
Write some tickets, man. Get out there and write some tickets. You'll get a tan before you.
Right before you know it. Oh, we got 300 people watching so far. It's pretty good for just starting up. Usually we get about 350 by the end.
I see. Who was somebody was saying something about your ending to your videos. You know, when you get Will Ferrell out there, you're my boy Blue. They said you need to change that. What was they saying? Start like yelling at the camera. You must. What is it? Submit. You must. Oh no! You must comply. You must comply. You must comply. Or start comply. Whatever it is. You know, the cop term. And it's like subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, stop resisting and subscribe.
That's right.
Maybe I'll
You should.
Mark Cartman, you know, that respect my authority.
Now that you're up to 1,000 subs, you know, when they see that on there, they're gonna hit you up. You're big time now, so you gotta be careful.
Screw you guys, I'm going home. I'm done with you guys. I'm out of here.
Damn it, Bobby. Have you hit the...
I used to watch South Park a lot. I know how. Yeah, we didn't got off. Well, we didn't have a subject yet, but that one episode where he was the policeman riding around on that big wheel, that was a funny one.
Big silver glasses, you know.
Beating the people in the kneecaps with a club.
Didn't they make fun of the intro for like what, Dog the Bounty Hunter or something during that one?
I don't watch that show. I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't remember that. I do watch it though. I usually watch it on YouTube. I don't tune in for the new episode, but I mean I can catch all the neat clips pretty quick on YouTube. It's pretty awesome.
Right before we was going, now we forced it. We probably can't talk about it. We won't be able to figure out what we want to say. But we was talking about how cell phones are supposed to make your life easier, and it seems it's quite the opposite. Even though we can't let go of the phone and leave it at home when we go somewhere, it's like we're a slave to it or something. And
Yeah,
talk about how that started.
yeah. I believe that always being connected and convenience. It's a two-way street, but sometimes you wonder if it's a benefit or a detriment. You know, I know when I want a information or I want something and I have my phone there, it's always very convenient. But then when someone's trying to connect with me immediately on my phone, I look at the downside. So it's perplexing, a conundrum, whatever you want to call it, all at the same time. But I was trying to figure out, like, when was the first, the gateway. I think I called it the gateway to the whole constantly connected lifestyle, and that was the pager. The pager was invented way before the internet, and that was the pager. I mean, I said before we went on live, I said, who here had a pager? And I think everyone raised their hand. And then, you had to drive to a payphone and, call the number, and then, and then you had this conversation or whatnot. And then that was good. At least you're having a conversation. There wasn't no texting back then. And that was like the gateway to the always connected lifestyle. Then it became the bag phone and, then the brick phone. And then soon after that was the internet. And then I mean, it's either, depends on how you look at it. It either down spiraled or spiraled out of control. And that wasn't too long ago. That was only like, I want to say the when did y'all have a pager? Like, I'm going to say like 92-ish, something like that.
Oh, that was fun. Let's see. Yeah, in the late 80s.
Okay.
You figured
that wasn't too long ago. That's so let's just say that's 90. Hell, that's 27 years. We've gone from really having to work like hell to get a hold of somebody to being constantly connected all the time.
Well, for a while we went, the normal thin pager that just said a phone number on top, and then years went out. I can't remember who made them, but then there was a keypad where you could answer, like we could get our calls on it, like for fire dispatch, and you could actually like text back on those things. And then Nextel came out with the phone, that you could bleep bleep, and that ruined it. The electronic leash. But I remember pagers. You get the page, and then you would have to go find a frickin' phone somewhere, drive down the block or whatever to get to a phone. The good old days.
Yeah, I know when I first got a cell phone, it was I want to say mid '90s, early '90s. I'd say mid '90s. Anyhow, it was the time where I think you probably still get the bag phone, but I know they had the big phones. But the one I had was mounted in the car. You know, I had a box underneath the seat, mounted down, and wire going up to the phone, and it was an ordeal. It wasn't like just whatever, but I mean, we kind of went from there. And even then, I didn't have one myself for a while. That was in my wife's car.
Yeah, Nextel did that radio thing for a long time, and I was a Nextel subscriber. And you know what I hated about the Nextel radio? It was a phone, but you could also radio people. Was you could tell if they were ignoring you. You know, it was kind of like there was no secrecy to that. It was like you key somebody up or whatever, and it was kind of cool. But I tell you what I loved about Nextel. If you're having a phone conversation with somebody and you're not done talking, the other person can start talking and talk all over you. I think Nextel saved marriages. I mean, I really do, because as long as you held that key down, and Rick, you probably do a lot. You know what I'm talking about, working radios all the time. But as long as you hold that key down and you're talking, the other person can't talk. They gotta just listen. It's like writing a damn letter,
What's better is when those guys, when you get a buddy, he'd go in the crapper, like a community crapper where there's a bunch of stalls, and then he's in there, you're like making noises like, oh shit, oh, I'm having a baby, just making all sorts of ruckus in there, and he can't turn it off. He can turn it down, but he can't turn it off. No, comms prepper, I'm not a radio guy. Not like you.
Yeah, those Nextel, they were like a walkie-talkie. I mean, it's basically what it functioned like anyway.
Fat man.
What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
We're talking about how cell phones, more than a convenience, they seem to be a pain in our ass.
Oh yeah, yeah. They are evil, especially if they have Pokemon on them.
Yeah, they should just instantly blow up. It should have like a hidden worm in it that as soon as you turn that dumb thing on, it just blows your phone up.
I've only heard about it. I refuse to even search things like that, because that's got to be an enormous waste of life. I was walking downtown the other day. I had to price a job downtown, and when you're down, walking with the masses downtown, and I don't go downtown a whole lot because I don't like going downtown. But I seen this one dude. He's looking down on his phone. He's doing this, doing that, and he's turning into this door, into this little space, and it's not even a door where you can go in nowhere. And he's looking around, and I didn't know what he was doing. But I mean, I didn't officially know what he was doing, but I know exactly what he was doing. And I'm like, that sumbitch is going to walk out in traffic and get his ass run the hell over.
Yeah, there's people who've been doing that shit. I was talking to one kid. I'm like, what is this stupid Pokemon shit? Just to figure out what the hell everybody's talking about. And what he said you can do is you can put one of those little things, whatever they are, like in a location that you want to put it in. And I was thinking, man, that would be fun. Like you could put it in all sorts of crazy stuff. Put one at the top of like a some tower, some hotel tower or something. You got all these freaking freaks walking in. They're like, security's running around wondering what the hell's going on.
Well, that's probably how there's been 2 people walked off a cliff in California.
Yeah,
They're looking at your camera and walked off a damn cliff. I don't know that they died or what. I don't know. All I know is 2 people walked off a cliff.
Yeah, there was one. It was like 40 minutes from me. One of the beaches walked off the cliff.
Well, they're also from California, so they very well may have walked off the cliff to begin with.
That's true.
We need. When next time you're in California, you need to put that on your phone and plant a bunch of them over a cliff. However you do that.
or like 100 yards out in the ocean.
Exactly.
Well,
Just
I don't know.
just watch zombie hordes of liberals with their cell phones walking into the ocean. You know, it's like, yes, we won.
Well,
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Everything about technology or being connected has got its good side and its bad side. I think what you have to do personally is just work it to your best interest. And I mean, every time my phone dings, and I know y'all do the same thing. Shit, you look at it, regardless whether it's some stupid ass email for something or it's actually a good friend that sent you a text or something. I mean, so it's a double-edged sword. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. I think about stuff like that a lot, and I don't know why. I guess because I'm a little old school.
I think you're right. They definitely have their advantages, especially smartphones. Definitely have their advantages, but it's when they're used as, it's when
for evil. For
it's
evil.
when they're used for evil.
That's right. Evil purposes.
But no, seriously, I agree with Pops. They really are. They're a double-edged sword. Do a lot of good things with them. GPS. I mean, map. Reading maps with them. They got a calculator on them. They got everything but a phone on them these days. So they have actually lots of useful tools that you can download as apps. And then there's Pokemon. So
With the youth of today, though, man, people don't know how to, like, probably. I mean, if you start thinking about it, probably anybody that's about the age of 25, maybe even upwards of 30 and below, they don't know how to hold a conversation with anybody because they don't call people and talk. It's always the quick burst text messages, which in some cases are good because you don't need a long conversation. But you walk anywhere, you go into a restaurant, and you got the three kids are staring at their damn phone, and that part that irritates the shit out of me. My kids, they don't have cell phones yet, but once they get to that age where after school activities and that type of stuff, and they get them, they'll lose it so damn quick, and that will be a rule. You are not, at a dinner table, at a family function, at a gathering, your ass is not doing anything with that phone. That just irritates the shit out of me.
I've heard from more than one person, I think talking to, and maybe even in a chat too, where they've had kids sitting on the same couch text each other.
Mm-hmm.
But really?
I actually did that the other day. I'll be honest
Well,
with
if
you.
you're talking about somebody else in the room, it's different. But
Yeah. I actually did that the other day. Me and some of the dudes that I trained with, we were out to lunch a few weeks ago, and his wife was there, and he was like, "Oh, I got to go out to the truck and get my cell phone." She's like, "For what?" We're sitting there doing this. She goes, or he says, "What if Silverback decides to text me?" I said, "Yeah. What if I decide to text him?" She's like, "You're sitting at the same table." So he went out and got his cell phone. As soon as he sat down, I was like, "What's up, man?"
Hey, you got to give it up for Matt. He built a shelter out of some twigs. I thought I saw a pizza box in there, but I wasn't
No
sure.
pizza box. No, it was an all bush. It was an all natural shelter.
I'm like, poor guy, he's got no trees.
I started to say, did you have to import the twigs?
No, they were the longest branches I could find.
They had little serial numbers on them from Lowe's. You had to buy a bunch of them and stick them together.
Yeah,
No,
nice lattice work, treated lattice.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it and screen share it here.
So technology in general. I mean,
Well, look at us right now. We're talking from all over the place. I think the
Yeah.
farthest one away is what? Lou?
right. So yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, but how much technology has killed jobs? I mean, I think it's you look at a hammer. A hammer can build something, and a hammer could excuse me,
Tear.
hammer could tear something down. So it's just a tool. I think it depends on how you use it. But technology, I think, is different in a way where it can almost grow in a way where it becomes more negative than positive, because of, I'm guilty of using technology to replace jobs. But I wonder, you always wonder what's the delta? Like, how much technology can you have and it still be good, and then where do you cross the line? Because eventually you just have a bunch of robots doing all the work. Who the hell makes the money? I guess just the people that made the robots. I don't know. That's like the extreme part of it, I guess. But where the hell are we heading technology-wise?
Look at
Good, serious question too.
Well, you remember as a kid and you wanted to look for something for Christmas and you got out that. Remember the catalog? the catalog. It was who the hell was it? Roebuck, Sears Roebuck or whatever, that big fat ass catalog, and you would search through what you wanted. You didn't have internet, and you'd go figure out on Amazon and find out the cheapest prices and all this shit, or you'd have to buy something in your local town.
Yeah. All valid arguments about technology, but I don't think we can deny how much more efficient technology has made us. Just the simple fact. Just simple things like emergency phone calls. You're driving down the road and you get into a wreck. You have your cell phone. You call 911. Just something as simple as that. Technology has made us a more efficient people. They really have. In an argument, you could say they made us a dumber people too, because you don't go to the library and look stuff up. Because whenever you do that, you always run across 10 different things you weren't looking for, but you learned something new. But I don't think there's any denying that technology has made us a more efficient people, especially in manufacturing, and like I said, things like simple things like job emails. You have them at the palm of your hand, no matter where you're at. You don't have to wait until you get home at the end of the day to answer an email for a job application or something like that.
Yeah, or even the fax was awesome technology at the time. Now you can just take a picture on your phone and send it off. No more having to find a fax machine or.
Right. I guess the whole thing about technology is, let's just say that. Okay, so we just agreed that we went from pagers to landline and pagers, and to being totally connected with everyone on the planet, basically, at the blink of an eye in, what, less than 30 years? We've gone from manufacturing using people. And I would argue in that same 30 years, I don't know if there was any true automation 30 years ago. I know there was probably like analog automation, but the digital world of automation and that technology, I think is within that same time frame. So 30 years from now, I don't know who's working. You can already replace, just like Matt said, the libraries. There's no need for a library. There really is no need for a library. Teachers, there's already people. Think of all now firemen, you guys are safe. But
medical field would be huge.
Yeah, and God, just think of all the jobs that are unnecessary when technology really takes certain jobs over. That's why I say learn to use these in a very big capacity, because a robot will never replace this and this and this right here, and but everything else, man, it's going away.
Oh, and I wasn't trying to argue that point.
No, I know. I was just adding on.
I'm a tradesman as well. You know, I work in a skilled trades field that is dying. You know, people are not becoming welders and fabricators anymore. People are not becoming cabinet makers anymore. People are not becoming, you know, craftsmen anymore. So I totally agree with you. And honestly, the medical field, you know, Rick kind of said the medical field. Medical field's probably going to be one of the ones that's hit the worst with technology. They've already got robots doing, you know, a lot of work that people used to do, and that's one field that I think is going to be hit the hardest by, you know, technological advances as far as replacing human beings. You know, it's going to be however many people man a hospital now to 10. You know, it's, you know, there's one person that takes you to a room, hooks you up to a machine, walks to the next room, hooks you up to a machine, come back, everything's printed out. This is your heartbeat. This is, you know, your pulse rate. This is your blood pressure. This is, you know, your brain scan. This is your breathing rate and all that. And you walk out, you know, and then there's like a machine that knows the body inside and out and does the surgery. I mean, that's not far off from what's actually happening now.
I think they've already done surgeries. I could be wrong on this. I want to say I vaguely remember surgeries being done remotely. Like it was a doctor pushing the buttons and doing the stuff, but it was a patient somewhere else, and it was like a machine doing it or something. I could be wrong on that, but it could have been a simple surgery, but still.
There's lens replacement surgery they have now, and 2 of my family members have had it done where the doctor doesn't touch you. It's all done robotically. Yeah, it's laser, and they put in the new lens. I mean, that's like, whoa, that's sketchy. I mean, your eyes are
crazy.
Yeah, no, it's here. It's already here.
I had a guy tell me, it was a couple years ago, TR might even remember me mentioning this and bitching about it before. Maybe Rick. But a couple years ago, I got into a debate with a guy on, like, I think it was Facebook or Google Plus, and he was saying that technology, like replacing people with robots, will actually help the unemployment rate, will actually help employment. I'm like, in what universe does that make sense? Yeah. You know, he's like, well, there's going to be a bigger demand for people to build the robots. It's like, yeah, but that lasts for about, in the grand scheme of the time frame of things, that lasts for about a second until they have robots building robots. You know, well, then there's going to need to be somebody that maintains them. Yeah, but how? I mean, you don't win in this argument. As time goes, based on your logic, will be fewer and fewer and fewer human beings working.
That guy obviously missed the movie I, Robot.
Right? Or Terminator.
Right? No, hell, Skynet. Christ.
Yeah, something you brought up, and it just hit me. I was just kind of looking over the panel here, because you said something about being a tradesman. Everybody here on this panel, we're all tradesmen of some type. You know what I mean? None of us are pencil pushers that could be replaced or whatever. You know, Blue's a police officer, that ain't gonna be replaced. Rick's fireman. Matt's welder fabricator. Pops is a cabinet maker. I work in maintenance, and trust me, they were glad I was there all weekend because I had shit down all weekend. I mean, the plant was going down repeatedly. The stuff I was having to do.
They're testing out some stuff overseas right now. It's basically like a ball, and when you have a fire, you can throw it in the dumpster or throw it through a window into a house that's on fire, and it basically does an explosion that just takes away all the oxygen real quick, and the fire's out.
So it's like a halon grenade?
Yeah, basically. And so there's things, maybe they won't need us anymore. Maybe they'll just be little Pokemon balls all over town, and people just start throwing those goddamn things in there. So I don't know.
But
We shall see.
robotics and technology, I mean, like you guys were mentioning the medical stuff. I mean, Rick, I know that the medical field is turning a lot to technology. I mean, crud, you have the machines where medics and EMTs out in the field don't even have to do CPR anymore, don't they? Don't they have like this machine that does
We
it?
have one of those. That thing's a piece of shit. It's called an auto pulse. Every time we have to use it, it doesn't work. We actually took them off the rigs because they suck.
No, as far
But
as
yeah, there's other companies that have them that work.
no, as far as technology goes, and somebody, I think it was Rick, mentioned, we're all sitting here talking to each other. There's a big push that like social media is killing people's not relationship skills. They're
Communication.
yeah,
Social.
social
Social.
skills, yeah, social skills. There it is, and that's an argument that I'll argue against all day long, because we're sitting here living proof of it. If things like Facebook and YouTube and Google Plus didn't exist, I wouldn't be sitting here with two badass mag loaders, on my couch right now. I wouldn't have met Johnny in Casa Grande, a year ago. I wouldn't have decided I didn't like blue a year ago.
Well, that's not completely true, because you still didn't know till the other day that I actually made videos, so your technology skills are... I can't let that go.
But seriously, I mean, we're sitting here living proof, as well as everybody out in their chat room and everybody I've ever met up with, off of YouTube, that social media is truly social media, and to say that it kills your social skills, I think is a little short and narrow-minded.
Yes, but you come from a past where you have social skills. The way it kills social skills is people that are using social media and don't have normal social skills. So they never even knew what that was, and I think that's what it is. So it's again, it's a tool, and it could be used for positive. Like, all of us are old enough where we used to have to, go knock on a door and ask Johnny if he could play and come out and we'd play and all that. The new people that are the kids coming into this world are socializing with social media. They don't understand what true socializing really is. So for you and me, this is an enhancement. For them, it's a detriment.
I can see it. I mean,
I think, and we've talked about this before, like our generation, the older generation that grew up without all that crap, and we're using it as tools for the positive, best we can, even though sometimes it is a pain in the ass. I think where your arguments or somebody's arguments about how it's been really bad for people's social skills and different things like that would be your younger generations. I mean, because if we think about it for us, we can find a lot of positives, and I'm sure there's positives all around, but probably more negatives on the younger generation that's growing up that don't know how to add 2 plus 2, without a calculator. I'm exaggerating, but just what I'm saying.
yeah, that's
Do
coming.
long division or something like that. They got a clue, and that's where I see the technology dumbing people down really fast.
To be fair, if they can't add 2 plus 2, it's because they're going to a public school and it's Common Core now.
Yeah, I started to say
That's
that.
I had a conversation with someone last week, and they were talking about, I think where it's going to get scary is they're basically building computers now that are trying to outthink. So basically, say you have a problem, right? And problem X. And it's going to take us maybe a day, half a day, a few hours to figure out how to solve problem X. Where a computer can figure it out within seconds, right? And it's going to get to the point where we're going to ask the computer a question, like, what's the best way to build a table or whatever, right? And like Pop's machines, it'll say, you need 6 sheets of this and that. But where before we'd have to sit there and try to figure it out. And I think as the world gets, more technology, it's going to get to a point where it's basically trying to it's going to be outthinking us. I think that's going to be kind of scary.
No, that's true, but didn't Jeopardy do a freaking that game show? Didn't they do one versus IBM's smart computer and the humans actually beat it?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I just know that they're working on trying to basically build electronic brains that can outperform a human's brain, given let's say you're a commander of a battleship, right? And you plug in all this stuff, you're going to get an answer within microseconds where, the captain or whoever the commander is, whatever the hell he's called, it may take him 30 minutes to figure out what he needs to get done the best way to get the best possible result. And I think over time, once they get that developed, it's going to be so scary that a computer is actually going to be able to they're saying Siri already does that. So I think, from now, if we took that 30 years, like Pops was saying, from where we went 30 years ago to what we have right now, and then you times it by 20, that's basically what we're going to be looking at when it comes to technology. So it's going to be scary.
Hey, Blue, or anybody, does anybody know if IBM is still making computers?
That might not have been the right.
I don't think they are, and that would explain it, because if the human brain was beating it, they probably went out of business.
I'm going to have to look that up, but I'm damn sure that happened on Jeopardy. But with the technology thing, it was what? I mean, if we're looking at space it was in the early 1900s was the first flight, and it was like, what, 1960 something, whenever the first manned mission, or maybe not even a manned mission to outer space. I mean,
Yeah. From 1900 just to the 60s, the advance of man was astronomical. I mean, yeah, we've still grown by leaps and bounds, but the stuff that's happening now is really just improvements and refinements of stuff that's happened in the last 50 years. But that from the teens, maybe 20s, to the 60s, oh my God, dude, mankind was leapfrogging. And we're still doing it, but it seems like it is big steps, but it really is not as big as steps as they was in the early 1900s. Yeah.
Area
Amazing.
51.
Hey, Johnny. I meant to say hey while ago. Go ahead. You got anything to say, Joe?
Area
Hey, Johnny.
51. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Area 51. That's all I need to say.
Well, whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not, you got to figure how many thousands of years man's been on Earth, and then all of a sudden in 50 years we jumped. It's like,
Well,
I'm pretty sure we're reverse engineering some alien technology.
I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you want to run with that comment, but there are those that believe that we're just regaining knowledge that we've had before, or some of the knowledge that we had before. So I mean, it's that's a pretty big rabbit hole. But you're right. From the Wright brothers to landing on the moon in '69, that's a hell of a leap.
Yeah, you can't unlearn stuff, right? I mean, that's one argument that people make about, well, if there's an EMP or the Russians blow us up or something and they shut us all down and we go back to the Dark Ages, they're talking about, well, and believe me, I'm a prepper and I prepare for the worst and hope for the best, and I've got all my stuff in place, don't get me wrong. But you can't, being that all you've already learned it all. I mean, how long is it really going to take to fix a major problem?
Depends on what problem you're discussing.
Well,
If you're a biblical believer, there has been extinction level, or even if you're not, even if you're evolutionist, they all believe there's been at least 2 extinction level type things happen to the earth, whether it be biblically related or meteor, all the other shit. So if the majority of the population dies off with it. So it's like I said, it's according to how deep you want to run down that rabbit hole.
Right. But how would you like to be 10 people left on the planet, knowing all the stuff that all the millions of people left the information? I don't know. It'd be kind of fruitless because there's no manpower. It's like it'd be like holding the goose's egg, but golden egg, but no one to. I don't know. That's a no. I don't mind thinking about stuff like that. I think it's a good thing to think about.
A very good point about that. Even though people do have the knowledge, or at least the know, the ability, and a little bit of the knowledge, here's where technology is hurting us. Nobody hardly buys books anymore. You got everything on a computer, so if all that was wiped out, it's like, I used to know kind of how to do this, but I don't have a book. You know what I mean? So there again, there's one downfall of technology. It's not that nobody has a book, but you know what I'm saying? Everybody's got information on a computer, a Kindle, or something like that. So that's a little bit of a hang up.
Well, then we should just ban computers and the internet, because there's no way that our founders could have realized that the internet would have been made when they wrote the First Amendment.
I mean, look at family photo albums. They don't exist no more because they're all digital. And when your little thing right here goes, haywire, you lost all that. It's gone unless you back it up a couple times or on another computer or something like that. But yeah, that's definitely a negative of technology. Made us lazy. We don't print nothing out. We don't put it in no book, and then it's gone.
I do. I got several binders. When I find PDFs that's supposed, to teach me like a bushcrafting skill or a survival skill or anything like that. Yes, I do have them on my computer, and I have them on also an external hard drive. But I also got 2 or 3, like 3-inch binders that I've printed that shit off. I've spent hundreds on frickin' ink.
Oh, speaking of like end of the world type stuff, you guys know that the world ended 2 days ago, right?
I heard that.
I didn't get the memo.
I thought something was different.
And the End of the World Prophecies channel, I think is what it's called, who like every 3 weeks comes out with a new video saying this is when the world's going to end. It was the 29th, and when they're wrong, they just go back and change like the name of the video to a different date.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got to match it up with the Mayan calendar, so the 29th's really not the 29th, and like it's probably tomorrow because of leap year and shit.
Yeah, they miscalculated. It's really in the year 5050.
Well, I think the first main event was like Y2K, wasn't it? I mean, that was like the big thing that got people, unless there was one before that, but I guess I was only old enough at that point to start really thinking, I got to prepare for something, and Y2K was it, I guess, the first thing I remember, There
was the Y1K.
The Y2K thing was something that was everybody was talking about.
But
Yeah,
it was because they didn't think the computers would keep running. They thought they would end the clock wasn't. They thought they didn't design the clock smart enough to go to 2001. They thought it was going to shut down all the computers and shit.
Well, and they did actually find a glitch of some sort, but they went back and fixed it, and it was far before 0000000. You know, it was before that hit, that time hit. So anybody, because I thought it was a reasonable fear on a computer level when it comes to banking and stuff like that. I thought it was a reasonable fear that everything would hit zero and it would just shut down. But then they went back through and they said, oh yeah, we did find something, we fixed it, and now it's fine. But everybody still was like, oh my God, everybody's gonna die, you know?
Buy a generator.
Well, I'll tell you, I was working for a hospital whenever Y2K hit, that was actually my 21st birthday, and they held everybody over because they just didn't know. I mean, they really thought that, you know, respirator machines would just stop functioning. I mean, even after, God, I don't know how many seminars we sat through that said this is not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. Everything's good. They still had the hospital overstaffed just in case. I mean, it was.
Well, the issue was the year was just two numbers. So they was afraid when it went from 99 to 2000 that it would think it's 1900. If I'm not mistaken, that was the issue because they just didn't foresee having, you know, 2000. Didn't think these computers would still be running or whatever, you know.
It's like an old speedometer.
I would like to take a moment to say that I'm extremely appalled that in the year 2000 you were 20 fucking one. And I'm appalled that I was that much older.
I was 23, 24.
I was 31.
I remember that date really good because I had a big party here, and we was just waiting. I didn't think anything was going to happen, but it was like, then we all counted it down, and I was like, boom, it happened. And it was like, man, the lights didn't even fucking blink. That sucked.
Yeah.
You should have turned them off.
Yeah, you should have tripped the main breaker and make it a real party.
Yeah. A lot of people had parties for that, thinking it was going to be, you know, go dark and fuck it, just get tore up one last time.
I remember one of those end of the world prophecy guys. He was even on YouTube. He said he was so convinced the world was gonna end. He was actually gonna jump off of this cliff. I think it was in Arizona somewhere, or Colorado. I don't know where, but he was literally gonna wait to that point and then jump off the cliff so that when the world ended, he'd be suspended in midair. I mean, you got some real nutbags out there.
Damn.
Walk around looking for Pokemon now.
Yeah, I don't, you know, and obviously people like that do that, you know, they just shut their channel down. But he sat there and preached how he was going to do it and when and everything, and it was probably a 30-minute long video, and the whole time my jaw was just, you know, watching this guy talk about this and everything, and
Captain Pizza's the winner. He said he was in second grade when it happened.
But you know what? That's good for us because, well, I'm not the oldest, but you know, the older generation, we're passing stuff down to the younger guys, so that's good. And they're actually here listening.
I think Matt's the youngest one here.
I was 21 and turned 22 during Desert Frickin' Storm. Of course, me and Johnny's about the same age.
Yeah, we're only about, what?
Months apart.
9 months, 6 or 9 months apart.
yeah, I'm 48. We're all right there.
You're right in the same ballpark as us, Pop.
It's funny. I'm the youngest one here, but I look closest to Pop's age.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, put that Just Peace for Men in there, man. It'll hook you up.
I'm just surprised he hasn't done that shit off welding.
Well, that's why it's about a foot shorter than it used to be.
Probably. One good piece of slag will do that.
So here you go, Rick. This is what you were talking about earlier. I'm gonna screen share it.
Wait, not yet. Oh. There it is. There's that pizza box.
Yeah, that's what we built. I built yesterday.
That was the biggest trees in the desert, folks.
That was the biggest trees in the desert. You're right.
That ain't no shelter. That's a rat nest.
That's the best shelter you're gonna build here.
Did you actually sleep in that thing?
No.
Hey, don't you have a Lowe's nearby? You can get some shingles and some cinder blocks and 2x4s and shit like that.
You know, stop by the Dollar General to get you a damn tarp, man.
I mean, I don't even see any duct tape. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Or baling wire.
Yep. Right at the top here, there's 2 feet of paracord right there, and that's the only not natural part of it. It's mainly for shade. You're not going to build a waterproof shelter here.
Shade.
Matt, you were watching Naked and Afraid before you built that, weren't you?
No. I've built lots of shelters.
You just took out a whole forest to build a shelter. That's awesome.
That's pretty close, yeah. For here, yeah, that's pretty much a whole forest.
That's 1 acre of Arizona right there, folks.
I was driving through Texas one time, and I was with my dad, and he said, "Look, see that? Look at that over there." And I said, "What are we looking at?" He said, "That's a Texas forest." I mean, everything was about 2 foot tall, you know.
Yeah, once you get away from East Texas, there ain't no trees no more. They call them trees, but they're mesquite bushes.
Yes, the scrub brush, basically.
Yeah. Matt and them's got some kind of it's a tree/bush. It gets fairly. I don't know. The ones I saw probably 20, 25 foot tall, but they slick bark, and it's almost a bluish green hue to them. And the leaves are not leaves; they're slick, potish looking things. It's the oddest looking shit I've ever seen in my life. It's ridiculous.
And they're holding on to life by a thread.
Yes. You know, their trunks are only, yay big, and they're probably 100-year-old tree. Every tree that I saw, or formerly tree that I saw, that actually had a trunk like you would see, 12, 15-inch, like we know of as oaks and whatnot, they were dead. It was just a stick sticking up out the middle, side of the road somewhere. They were all dead. Matt was like, "Oh, you ought to move out here. It's a pretty cool place." I'm like, no trees, no water. Fuck that.
No shade.
No shade, man.
There ain't no shade. I mean,
I'm too Irish for that bullshit.
Yeah. Unless you open a door and go inside, there ain't no shade nowhere. I mean,
I'd catch on fire and burn up.
Matt, you need like 25 feet of 1-inch PVC and a tarp, and then you can hook it to your truck to the stake bed and have a nice little shelter.
Oh no, that's because we went to a different spot and went camping. I got back a few hours ago, and that's what we did. We just took one of my tarps out of my bug out bag and took it across the trucks. That's what we sat under, and then I sleep in my truck when I go camp. I sleep in the driver's seat. I don't know. It's great. Tearing down my camp is taking my cooler, putting it in the bed, and putting my rifles in the passenger seat and driving off.
That's right. I'm done.
Yep.
Keep it simple, right?
Yep. Don't have to worry about loading up a grill and all this other crap that people take out camping. I've taken my 5 cans of Vienna sausage and a couple Mountain House packages, and that's about it.
There you go.
If I was you, being you don't like to put up the tent and the whatever like that, I'd get me a topper for the back of my truck. The little shelves.
Yeah.
And I'd put me a cot back there. And then you wouldn't have to. You do the same thing, throw the fucking bed up and drive off. You can find those used for a couple $100. I've thought about doing that to my truck.
I need to do that to mine. Just because all the rain out here.
Right?
At least you can throw some shit in the back and not.
Throw some shit in the back and you ain't got to have nothing in the back seat in the way. And then keep you a cot back there, because I got a couple of cots. I'd keep me a cot back there.
You probably think you moved to a rainforest compared to California, Rick.
Holy hell yeah. I love it. We had half-inch of rain yesterday, matter of fact. It came in like an hour at the most. Like, it fucking rained. Looked at my little weather gauge, and I was like, damn, a half-inch? I had a weather gauge in California. It'd rain all fucking day for 2 days, and you'd end up with a quarter-inch of rain. You're like, what the hell? Big drops around here.
Lucky it wasn't 3 inches.
Oh man, you get 3 inches in California, you better get a boat. For some reason, that ground cannot soak up water. It just everything.
Too dry for too long. It's too hard.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not soil anymore. It's just dirt. There's a
Just
difference.
dirt. It's like a rock.
Yeah, there's nothing living in it. It's
Right,
compact.
and the whole state's burning down.
It's
You talking about
compact.
Arizona again?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Yeah, when a piece of water beads up and rolls along the ground because it just is too dry, it won't go in there. It's like, nope.
I mean, when the water don't even want to live there, you know you got some fucking problems in California.
Right.
Well, the best part is it's always dry. Everything burns. People's houses burn down. And if they don't burn down, it'll rain, and then they get washed down the hill, and then they rebuild them, and they do that shit every year. It's like a cycle. It's like the guys that live in tornado keep building the same house in the same spot, and they're on like their fifth house. Same thing.
That's why it costs $500 a square foot out there to build a damn house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fuzzy Fuzz T Fork said surviving in Arizona at night means avoiding the illegals. They could be deadly than a snake. And honestly, that's one of the reasons. Like last night, it was hot last night. You know, even in the truck with all the windows down and even the back windows propped open and all that. It was hot in the truck, and there was a breeze coming through and everything. But we still had a fire, and it was partly because of critters, wildlife, but it was mostly because of illegals and cartel. If they know there's people around, they'll avoid that area.
Yeah.
You should get those. Do you have any of those hand grenade? Those perimeter. You ever see my video I made where it's at top of a hand grenade? You put the
Tripwire, the signal tripwire things.
Yeah, it's got a little primer for a shotgun shell in there. Those work good, man. I use those around here quite a bit. Keeps the animals out. I should say the bears in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you know they're coming.
I'd say you're probably right. If they saw a campfire, they would probably avoid that area. Because if you're sneaking around, they know it's not some of their friends, like they just all of a sudden stop and decide to start a fire. They're moving at night for stealth, not to draw attraction. So if they see an attraction, they're going to go around it. I would say you're probably right.
Well, especially 11 o'clock at night, we were shooting still, and mainly because I wanted to try out my. You guys probably saw that review on that Tapco flash hider that I bought a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last night was the first time I had the chance to use it at night. That motherfucker works, by the way. But yeah, we were trying it a bunch last night on a couple different rifles and all that. Taking it off mine, putting it on another one.
Yeah, you definitely need a gun out there.
Last shooting I did at night was with a damn Kevlar helmet with a laser thing and a.
That was badass.
Yeah, out at Farmageddon, there was one person that had this night vision thing and this laser, and it was unbelievably cool. It was so cool.
Yeah, it had a laser designator on it.
Yeah.
So you could damn near just hold the rifle out like this
Oh
and
yeah.
be looking down range. You didn't even have to shoulder the gun. You could, I mean, it was like point and shoot.
Fire for the hip.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah.
It was badass. I think every one of us walked away wanting one of those.
Yeah. That's all shit you got to get permission for, though. You know. Well, not all of it, just some of it, but because there was a silencer on that gun too.
Yeah, I think he said it was about right at $3,000 in that rig, and
Yeah.
it was just a 22.
Think of the damage you could do at night with that thing, though.
Oh,
And
yeah.
not even make a noise. I mean, no.
Like our military's badass. You can fuck some shit up at night, and no one will even know the wiser.
Yep. Operate at night, man. That's it's like, I wouldn't say that's the infantry motto, but that's what they do. I mean, the same technology on these helicopters, these attack helicopters. I mean, you just roll in there and own the night and destroy all that shit and leave, and no one even know you were there.
I watched 13 Hour yesterday or the day before, and that's how they held a lot of those guys off, was running. You know, they're marking the guys with those. You know, our guys could see who he was pointing at with the lasers, but they couldn't see it. That's technology definitely helps when it comes to that. I'm getting back around to technology.
It definitely opened my eyes because I've always heard about, you know, like troops painting a target with a laser, and I never really understood that because I was thinking laser like we mount on a gun or something, you know, red dot, laser, or green dot. I didn't understand the whole picture of how that worked, and that opened that. It was like, you know, a light bulb went off. Oh, okay, now I get it. Because literally somebody else could point a laser at a target, and then you, okay, there's the target. You know, if you had the night vision, then you could see, you know, whatever. But yeah, that was a little bit of an eye-opening experience there. I mean, it's not like we was riding around in helicopters taking targets out or anything, but the whole concept of painting a target using night vision, you're the only one that can really see it unless somebody's got the same equipment that you have and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I'm bringing the helicopters next year.
Okay, I'll be there.
I'll be there too. I want to see some helicopters.
Well, hopefully you'll have that zip line up by then anyway.
Oh, it'll be done.
Hopefully, I'll get to come next year.
Are you putting a zip line up, Pops?
500 footer. 36
Are you
foot.
designing it? Are you designing it?
I'm just winging. I'm winging it, baby.
Because if you need any help with calculations, there's a lot that goes into anchor straps with those.
Yeah, I got it all figured out. Don't worry about it. Just jump on and ride.
Just go on the line first.
You're gonna get the fireman on your ass being a safety Sally over here.
Well, not that. It's just
Well, what I'm thinking is this is going to give a whole new meaning to the term running and gunning, because we need some targets set up as we're just going down that son of a bitch.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
listen. I guarantee you, I will be the first person to engage targets from that zip line, and I will do a damn GoPro video of it, and then I'll let y'all take some rides.
You been practicing?
Have Pops do it first, and then the second guy is the fattest guy there. If those two make it, everybody else can go.
That's right. Bam.
Got the cable's only a 10,000-pound working load cable. I think we'll be all right.
It's not about the cable. It's about the anchors, Pops. It's all about the anchors.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure that I do a video of all the anchor system, and then when you put your seal of approval on it, then I'll hook into it and go. But until then, it'll just be a It'll just be a rain catcher until you sign off on it.
I'm sure Kelly, right?
Yeah, it'll just be.
Change the channel name to Easier Safety Covered.
Yeah, I just don't want to see people get hurt.
No, it's on a massive tree, and we're gonna block it so it don't kill the tree and loop it twice. And we got turnbuckles and all
Oh,
that.
we're good then.
Huge.
Rock on with your sock on.
Yeah, it's a professional grade kit I bought, and it's the kind of kit you buy if you own a freaking amusement park, for crying out loud. It's set up pretty nice. I mean, it's really nice. It's a nice kit.
You may not have seen the video, Rick. He on his, what is it, Pop's Cabinet Shop?
Yeah, it's the other channel. Yeah, Pop's
Yeah, it's
Cabinet.
his other channel. He posted and he showed the kit. It's
Oh, good. Good.
professional.
I won't worry about it then. I'll just visit.
It'll be a fun ride. Trust me.
Yeah, he didn't just buy, a few 100 feet of some cable at Harbor Freight,
No, he just
I did watch a bunch of YouTube videos on people trying to make their own before I did that, and I'm like, man, there's so many sketchy people out there building stuff, and I'm like, that worked, but man, I just don't trust it. So I went the more expensive route and bought an actually legitimate, kit. So
Pops took apart a paracord bracelet and said, that ought to be enough.
Right?
I need 100 feet.
a roll of duct tape.
and an old belt.
Yeah. Like the, what's that movie where the dude slid on a cable with a belt or something? What is it, a James Bond movie or something like that?
Oh, he's breaking out of jail, right?
That was
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash, yes.
Oh, nice one.
In a lightning storm.
Yes.
Ah, okay. All right.
And it was a power line.
Right? Even worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll change the subject. It'll be all right. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. All right. I'm going to go get an iced tea. I'll be right back.
All right,
All right,
anything
now
on anybody's mind? Anything else?
Well, now that the safety Nazi's gone, we can talk about dangerous stuff.
Yeah, we can talk about having some fucking fun. Goddamn
Hey,
wet blanket.
kiss my ass. I'm still listening.
That's why we're talking. Damn wet blanket. Oh, we still ain't washed the California though down here, Matt. It shines through every once in a while.
You still, what'd you say? Still ain't washed to California off
Ain't
of it?
washed the California off of it yet. Everything's gonna hurt you. Can't have a real gun. Can't.
No, the way we go ahead. The way we treat people that move down south is, you got to live down south longer than you lived where you came from, or you ain't a damn Southerner.
Right.
You don't just move in here and take up residence. It don't work like that.
No, he's gonna be an outsider for years.
We call them resident aliens.
I just whether they're actually from a northern state or not, I just call them damn Yankees.
Oh God.
You ain't originally from a state below the Mason-Dixon line, you're a damn Yankee.
That's right. And you got the bumper stickers that say, "I don't give a shit how you did it up north."
That's right. And you also seen those bumper stickers. It says American by birth, but Southern by the grace of God.
Absolutely. And one of my favorites.
Yep. I've had the hats, the T-shirts, the bumper stickers. Hell, I even had a flag at one time that used to say that.
My direct supervisor at work is from Mississippi. And
Right.
I think he's lived in Arizona for about 5 years or something like that. Yeah, for the first time Friday. I don't know how we got on the subject, but I had said something about Ohio, and He was like, yeah, he's a damn Yankee.
Right?
That's the first time he's called me that in a year and a half.
I don't mean he ain't been thinking it. We might all like you, Matt, but you're still a damn Yankee.
You get into your western states, I don't even know how you classify them. It's just like out west.
Hot.
You know, it don't matter how high or low, it just kind of, that's just west.
You know that little box that says other, you can check that? That's what, you just check that.
Right.
Yeah, it's the Southwest, the Midwest, the North, the South, and then there's not a box for Californians because they don't matter.
No, I don't. And it's sad them poor folks in Northern California is trapped in that whole shit state. See, one time a little pocket of Northern California states were trying to succeed from California, start their own state. And I was like, get them, son.
Yeah, the state of Jefferson.
Yeah. That's almost impossible. Even if 100% of those counties wanted to do that, the state legislature is going to kick it down every time. Not going to let them.
Well, don't you have to have 2/3 also? Doesn't 2/3 that of the state have to agree for a new charter to allow California to split their charter and a new charter to come up?
More than
I would
likely.
think that would be a minimum, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. I don't know. But they, if I'm not mistaken, it would have to go through the state legislature first before it was ever. If they, let's just say in Fantasyland, they did agree. I think what you're talking about comes into effect then, and 2/3 of the other states would have to go along with it, or Congress, or however you want to look at it. That, which I think the only, and I keep hearing this, I guess this is jumping way off subject here, but I keep hearing this, but I've never been able to find anywhere, I guess it's because I'm putting in the wrong wording or whatever, where, you hear people say Texas is the only state that has in its original agreement with becoming a state that it could go back to being its own state or succeed legally. I've never been able to find that to where I can say, yeah, that's like an official government document. You know what I mean? Texas government document.
Ain't that the Constitution?
I've been told that
Besides it.
I know what you're saying.
they were the last state to be able to do that. My understanding is they were the last state to be able to do that, but they can't do it in the manner of speaking that they're talking about these days. It still has to be a 2/3 state, vote among all the rest of the charters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always hear from folks from Texas and other people too that Texas negotiated their way out if they felt it was a bad deal because they had they were their own republic and had their own president of Texas, not a governor, not a territorial governor, but a president of Texas. But I've never been able to find that legitimate Texas state document. And I was just wondering if anybody else ever found it.
Texas is one of those states that annoys me. That they're the chest thumping state, like symbolism of freedom and all that. We're Texas. It's like we're Texas.
Everything's better than Texas.
Everything's better than Texas. No.
Right.
You just got a right to carry a fucking gun. Shut up.
Exactly. The real great state would be the great state of Alabama because they call us the heart of Dixie, by God.
I have to argue that. South Carolina fired the first shots.
Yeah, 1861. We
Yes,
tried it in
they
1860.
fired the first shots, but the first capital was in Montgomery, Alabama, henceforth the heart of Dixie, because it was in the middle. I think that was one of our biggest mistakes during the Civil War. The Southern states made step one of I'm fixing to fuck up consecutively is moving the capital to fucking Virginia, which was closer to the Yankee lines. That made no fucking sense strategically whatsoever in my mind at all.
I
I
agree
mean,
with you.
what the fuck was that? Whoever thought of that should have got shot at sundown. I mean, you don't take. You're playing chess. You don't tell your opponent, "So I'm going to put my king over here in the corner next to yours. Don't touch him." Ain't gonna fucking happen.
I heard it was a big conspiracy theory to.
That I wouldn't doubt either. But
I heard the South was in on it. You know, that's just what I heard. You know, I don't know.
Well, they were obviously in on it because they're the idiots that made the move. But but I'm like, who the fuck thought of that shit?
The War of Northern Aggression.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we ain't forgot, but
No. A lot of good that'll do us. Yeah.
Notice Blue and I aren't saying shit.
That's right.
We're both from lands that are damn near Canada. You know.
Damn Yankee land.
And I haven't lived here long enough, so I'm just shutting the hell up.
There you go.
Yeah, but like we said, you were gone, Rick. You're from California. People from California don't count.
You're the other. You check the other box.
Yeah, California don't count.
Yeah, you're not northern, you're not southern, you're just other.
Other.
California didn't even know there was a civil war going on there.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that stuff in school.
Actually, if you go, well, Rick, you saw those pictures I posted on Facebook. Do you see the pictures from this morning with the sunrise and that mountain peak and all that?
I did, actually.
Okay, that mountain peak was the farthest west point the Civil War was ever fought.
Huh.
Picacho Peak.
Taconcho?
Starts with a P. Picacho.
Oh, Picacho.
Kind of like picante.
Or Pinocha.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
That's what you need right there, Blue.
Yeah. You should play that every time you walk up to a car.
Tell me you've done the suit at least once.
No, I've never.
Get me out.
No. Well,
Uh-oh.
no, I did. I attempted it once, but I only got 2 out, and obviously the person had seen Super Trooper, so I let them go for speeding, and we went on our merry way. As soon as the first meow came out, it was like they did the whole turn in their seat and like looked up, and then they went back like, did he really just do that? And then, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds later, I did it again. Dude just started busting out laughing, and I was like, all right, here's your stuff back, slow down.
Yeah.
They ran out of sweet tea.
Well, I have to say that's the coolest cop move I've ever heard of.
Probably the worst thing that ever. Oh my God! I was training this guy. Freaking! It was like his probably 3rd or 4th night, and I stopped one of my buddy. I didn't know it was my buddy at the time, but I stopped him, and for something stupid, probably like a dumb headlight out. Whenever you're training new guys, you just want them to get those stops under their belt, and he's on the passenger side. I'm on the driver's side, talking back and forth. Or no, I'm sorry. I was on the passenger side. He was on the driver's side. He was the one doing the talking, and the windows were both down. And just real quick, I saw who it was, so I was like, real quick, I'm like, tell that fucker to get his hands on the wheel. Wow, don't say that to a new guy. He instantly went from fucking 0 to 900.
Gotta love the rookies.
Oh shit! Whenever I'm training new people, well, I mean, you guys know I'm from it's a big ass area, but it's a small town, so you kind of know almost everybody. The one night, same thing, brand new fucking guy, and every time he got back in the car, the fucker would, like, if he was writing a written warning or writing a ticket, his fucking head was down, fucking writing, just fucking writing. So I was like, hey, I gotta go talk to this guy for a minute. I was like, I think I smelled something whenever I was up at the vehicle. Which I didn't, but I walked up to the guy and I was like, hey, give me about a minute and a half after I go back and just drive away. He's like, what? I'm like, drive away, meet me up at the church, like a half mile away, just fucking drive away. And he's looking at me, he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. I was like, the guy that I'm with is going to get killed because he doesn't know how to look up and keep an eye on people. I was like, drive away. So he did, and he fucking drove away, and the dude finished writing the ticket. And he looks up and the car's not there. I fucking peeled into him. Oh, did I peel into him. So then we went up to the church and met the guy that we stopped, and he went out to issue the ticket, and I fucking grabbed it from him and ripped it up, and I was like, if this was a bad guy, you would have been dead about 3 minutes ago. So, I mean, we do have, I don't want to say we have fun, but, that type of shit. It's a learning experience, plus it is kind of fun for me, I'm not going to lie.
It's supposed to be fun.
Yep, tyranny's a hoot.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I was ever training a new guy and fucking Matt happened to be in the area, I would fucking get a hold of him just to fuck with somebody. That would be the best mind screw ever, because Matt would bring everything to the table and I wouldn't say a word. I'd just let the other dude handle it unless he lost his shit. But
he'd lose his shit.
Oh, I'm sure.
He'd lose his shit.
He'd just piss on the handcuffs again.
Well, I wasn't talking about Matt losing his shit. I'm talking about the rookie cop would lose his fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
I've told you guys this before, but I had one of my buddy cops arrest me at the fire station one time with my crew sitting there. They didn't know what to do. And I was resisting and kind of fighting around. They were like ready to jump on the cop, but knew it probably wouldn't be a smart idea. Yeah.
You should have made him exclaim the charges of prostitution, ring, and drug smuggling.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, but that was in California, so they had them like fluffy little handcuffs with the like sheepskin on them and everything.
With the pink rabbit
I couldn't tell you.
And they were like, please and sorry and shit like that.
Step away from the vehicle, please.
Let's go have a vegan burger and talk about this.
I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but can you please not shoot at me?
Leslie were LAPD and they just was shot him when they walked in.
It's boom, boom, freeze, I think is how they do it. Freeze!
Yeah.
9 holes in them in their back. Stop resisting. He's
right.
dead. But he's still not putting his hands behind it. That's one of the things that I see. We've all seen these videos, dude. The cop's tasing somebody. He's doing the floppy fish on the ground, and he's screaming at him, put your hands behind your back. And I'm sitting there screaming at the screen going, stop electrocuting him, and he might. You know?
I was about to say the same thing. I don't know how many videos I've seen. They're tasing the guy or gal, whatever, and then screaming for them to do commands. Put your hands behind your back, put your hands up. I'm like, you're fucking electrocuting them. You have no muscle control.
They missed that portion of class.
Yeah, Blue.
You have to let up off the goddamn trigger if you actually want them to comply.
Yeah, no shit.
It's true.
I understand it's a heat of the moment and they're not thinking straight, but when I'm not downing you, Blue, or anything, but you know where we're going with it. We're talking about not going, but I won't say you see it over and over, but I've seen it enough. It's like you can hear them like they're chattering and yelling, yeah, crying and stuff because they're being electrocuted, and they're like, "Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back." It's like, what the fuck?
It's one of those things where it's literally split second. I mean, if you guys look up what the hell is it? Dude gets tasered, comes back with a gun, something like that. I mean, it's one of those deals that, I mean, you almost have to realize if dude's running away from me and I shoot him in the back with the taser and he falls down, he almost falls in the position he was. So, you're running. If somebody's running, their hands are mostly in front of them doing that back-to-back running motion. So you hit them with that taser, they're going to fall with momentum straight ahead on top of their hands. What you got to be careful with, which there's videos out there of the guy fucking gets tasered, goes down, and then the taser, like it's a 5-second burst unless you turn it off. That 5 seconds is up, and the dumbass comes up with he rolls over with a gun, and you've got your fucking hand on a taser. It's like, it's like.
Well,
you better be a damn good assessor of situations.
I would argue a little bit with the whole they're running like this, because aren't the people that run from the cops running like this to keep their pants up?
No comment, Matt. My employer may find this video.
Why, has he had baggy pants?
Looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Jim, you need to put them goddamn pants up, act like you got some fucking raising.
Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me, bro.
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm a pretty low key. I don't escalate situations ever. But if I know a situation's bad and I tell the person, you need to stop what the fuck you're doing or you're gonna get tased. If they say the words, go ahead and fucking tase me, and then make a move, they're fucking dropped like a sack of potatoes. I mean, it's if I give you that and you tell me go ahead and then you make the move which I told you not to do, yeah, I don't know. I don't fuck around, but less people get hurt that way instead of letting it escalate and myself and the other people. And yes, AZ, I did just about spray the keyboard with that one.
Remind me next time I'm in Pennsylvania, which it's only been like 15 years since I've been there, so it's due any time, to roll through your area when you got a rookie on board.
Oh God, that would be the greatest thing in the world. Thing is, though, you might get me pissed too. No, just fucking.
Yeah, well, we know he has before on here.
Y'all had Matt and Blue know each other enough that y'all could ad-lib it. Y'all could just play it by ear, but I could see Blue and Matt having a good time. Because Matt would be screaming constitutional shit. Blue would be, could just roll off some horse shit. The statute says this, and you will comply. Da da da. And then Matt come back. Hey, you'd have a damn rookie over there shaking in his damn boots, no doubt.
I'd just be afraid the rookie'd shoot me.
Yeah. So.
Well, I was about to say you would somehow have to get a hold of his gun and make sure you didn't have one in the chamber. Let me check your gun, rookie.
Especially when he walks up and there's like a Glock on my hip, 2 AK-47s, and a shotgun in the back seat.
Yeah, you have to give him some of that special ammunition.
No. It would be fun. It would be fun as long as you could play out every bad scenario that could possibly happen. I mean, like as soon as somebody like I know Matt wouldn't because that'd be an instant death sentence. But if Matt starts off with the I am a what the hell, I am a person of the earth, so therefore you have no right to stop me, and you have no right to ask for my ID, and his windows crack like this fucking far. Just to see how fucking furious the rookie would get, just be like, or if he would completely shut down, be like, all right, sir, have a good night, see you later. It's like, what?
Put my piece of paper on the windshield. With my piece of tape because I do not comply.
Oh, I just get my cell phone out with Cartman. I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
Yeah.
You know what?
Not that that scenario is going to happen, but you'd have to switch his battery and his taser to a dead one. You would have to, like I say, check his gun. Rookie, I got to check your gun. I just want to make sure, unchamber that son of a bitch, put an empty mag in it. You'd have to go through all those steps.
Fucking duct tape his ass shut so he couldn't smash the fucking window open.
Yeah, first thing I'd come out with is, oh, I see you're municipal PD. Yes. Well, did you know that the Constitution does not recognize, hired mercenaries known as the municipal PD?
Right. If you want a law enforcement officer of constitutional legality to talk to me, contact your sheriff.
See, and that's actually the bad thing up here in PA. The sheriffs have no fucking investigatory rights, no nothing. I mean, they have delegated through the courts that basically they are an extension of just the county court that they work for, and they're to do civil papers and.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, look that shit. If you want to get pissed, look that up.
Mm. You tell that to a fucking southern sheriff, he'll slap you off your damn feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being totally facetious. There's a lot of truth in that.
Mm-hmm.
You have no authority in this county. What, boy? Wow.
That's the thing is that, see, in a place like that, because you have the right to ask for the officer's supervisor. And so the supervisor's got to come there. And once the supervisor gets there, then you tell the supervisor, I want a sheriff. Now, granted, you're going to sit there the whole fucking time, but yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways to just make them go, look, 10 mile an hour is not worth it.
Oh, no. See, and I'm the complete. I understand a person's rights. However, that shit does not fly with me ever. I mean, that's, it's not, I don't even want to say reckless. You were careless. You disobeyed some stupid traffic law. I'm here to do a job, and if you want to up the ante just by, saying stuff like that, yeah, it's no, it really it is. I mean, it would be you're out of the car.
How dare you know your rights?
Yeah, I mean, but no, it's not even, and that's the line that. Oh man, I agree with a lot of what everybody says. How with how this stuff goes, the Constitution, the what everybody's rights are, but nah, it's.
You can't say, Blue, you can't say, I understand the Constitution, what everybody's rights are, but you can't follow that statement up with but and not sound like a tyrant.
No, and that's just it. I mean, I completely agree with you. However, see, I didn't say but, I said however. It's one of those deals where, I treat everybody the same, and I expect to be treated the same by everybody. I don't care if you're Johnny Joe citizen. I don't care if you're the 80-year-old preacher, and I don't care if you're the sovereign citizen. It's, look, this is the way we play the game, and you can play it the way you want, and I'll play it the way I want. And it's, in the long run, yeah, it's only a fucking traffic stop. I'm not going to escalate it to the point where, somebody ends up getting hurt. However, it's one of those deals where, by the state constitution, the state's superior court has ruled that I have every power to ask you for your license, registration, proof of insurance during a traffic stop, and I'm going to follow. I will follow that. There are lines that I absolutely will not cross as far as, you know, gun shit. That stuff, and that's I know why you guys kind of get not get pissed, but you're like, what the fuck?
Did everybody keep track of times Blue said however and but?
I try not to say but. That's my new word. I will try not to use that.
First thing I'd tell you, just to piss you off, is boy, you'd rather butt fuck a bobcat than briar patch than fuck with me.
That's good to go. We got bobcats up here.
2 bobcats in a burlap sack.
Usually they run away scared. So I was gonna say with their tail between their legs, but yeah, they don't have a tail.
Don't try to bully a bobcat in the South. I'm gonna tell you right now, because them son of a bitches will challenge you. I tried that once.
Yeah, up here they're so thin. Yeah, up here they're so thin and far few between. They bolt.
Man, I was camping on the river and one walked up. I know it's because of the food and everything, and I did the to make him go away, and that son of a bitch come at me, and I had to cut tail. He used to eat my ass up.
I'm out of here.
I was gonna piss, but that reminded me of my story. I was archery hunting. God, I was like 20 something, maybe just 20 or 21. Fucking black bear walked across the little tiny stream right behind my stand, and I'm like, oh Christ, I got a bow and arrow. And that son of a bitch was smelling, so I knew he knew I was in the area. And I was always told, yell, make a noise, and they'll turn tail and run away. So I just let out the fucking biggest war whoop I could, and it was loud. That fucking bear stood up on its back legs, and now it's looking for me actively. I'm like, you have got to be shitting me. But finally, once it figured out as a human, it ran away. But yeah, that's... Gotta watch what you do with wild animals. Now I'm gonna go take a piss.
All right, then.
Hey guys, I'm dying over here. I gotta go to sleep. Way past my bedtime. I'm gonna check out.
All right.
I appreciate y'all having me.
All right, Rob.
Rob.
Night, y'all.
Hey, nice.
Appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, man. We'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
Unless Silly has comments.
Yeah, I'm trying to comment here.
What do we got here? 60 viewers still.
I'll never see the view count out there on the actual video below it no more.
Really? Yeah, that's just GoobTube.
I haven't seen it. I don't even see it on my own chats anymore.
Really?
All I can see them on is in the control.
Yeah.
Actual.
Yeah, I just want to touch on something. There's been somebody out there in the comment section, like begging for subs. I'll just go ahead and tell you this: the way you get subs is you put out content, whatever content you want it to be. I don't care if you play video games, you build model airplanes, whatever it is. You find other videos about that. You comment, have conversations with them. You have content that they're interested in, they may sub you. You can't come on to political gun chat and you got a video game site and expect people to sub you and beg for subs. That don't work like that. I don't care about video games. If you have any video games on your channel and do gun videos, I'm probably not going to sub you. So that's how you build a channel. You got to comment, you got to watch videos, you got to put out good content. I'm just throwing that out there. That's how I did my channel. Anyway, just want to say that.
Wait, you said good content? Fuck, I got 1,000 subs and I put out shit. No, I'm just
well, close to what, somewhere in the realm of the subject. They don't have to be a good video, but at least that's what the video's about.
And you gotta have a noisy ass rooster that every time you set your video up and hit record, the fucker gotta yap every 30 seconds.
Everybody needs their little, trick or, whatever. You gotta have your little tagline,
True.
Anyway.
Southern style says, "Sorry, I'm late. Can you guys start over?"
I don't even know what we talked about.
We haven't even started yet.
I don't think we really talked about a whole lot of nothing.
No, we're still on technology, aren't we?
Johnny talked about aliens.
I never said the word alien.
No, I don't want to stop that.
One of my all-time favorite TV shows, and I shit you not, is Ancient Aliens.
I enjoyed that series on History Channel too. I think it was History Channel.
Yeah.
Or was it
Yeah.
Nat Geo?
I think it was History.
Okay, yeah. I like the guy with the hair. The hair sticks up like Dr. Frankenstein. He gets bobs that fucking hair. He gets the mic. He's impassioned about the bullshit he's spewing.
Yeah, and his hair, as that series went, it went from, fairly normal, it just kept going and going and going.
I like him. He was my favorite.
Now, I haven't caught all those episodes, but since we're kind of in that realm, I've got to ask. Is that Ancient Aliens, is that the one where I saw that they were digging up pyramids and stuff like that, and they found batteries, like a old-style battery system?
Yeah, the old.
That was part of it, yeah.
Yeah, it was the old clay pot batteries.
Yeah, they called them, they nicknamed them, what was it, Babylon battery?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. They also found airplanes, like models of airplanes, or sculptures of airplanes.
Holy shit.
Cat fight.
Get the AK.
Little models of airplanes or sculptures of airplanes that when they built life-size replicas of them, they were perfectly aerodynamic.
Yeah. That was down in South America.
Yeah, South America.
Maya or Inca, or something Aztec. Yeah, I liked it because they found alien technology every fucking where.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't so outrageous that you were just going, God, this is so stupid, I gotta change the channel. You go, that's kind of weird. So that's why it kept my interest. I didn't buy what they were selling, but I did sit there and listen to the whole infomercial.
My actual absolute favorite part of it is when they were comparing aliens to the Bible. Honestly, that's my absolute favorite part. Like they were talking about, like Noah's Ark. It's like, well, let's take the Noah's Ark story and open your mind up to aliens. To like this futuristic technology that they possibly had. How do you fit two of every fucking species on a fucking boat that's in one place? You don't, unless it's a DNA bank. Like, if you're able to open your mind up to the possibility of that technology existing, it seems to be much more capable or able to happen rather than there's two elephants, there's two giraffes, there's two rhinos, there's two there's two of every species on Earth.
Who brought the polar bears?
Well, I've done a lot of research on this. I don't know if we should talk about it or not. Well, I mean, even if you read the text of the Bible, it's always, chariots of fire, the way that angels and God was always presented. If you, the spoke within the spoke, and when it was talking about the craft that God was coming down in, If you look at it with open mind and read it word for word, just go grab a Bible and read it. Find those passages and think about it. It kind of like, ooh, wait a minute, something, the
Well,
claps of thunder and all this kind of thing.
on the opposite side of similar thought process, people talk about aliens doing this or doing that, or I don't think it's I don't think it's aliens like little green men from Mars or Planet X. I think I see it as no, I wouldn't probe. I see it as the fallen angels still communicating, but before in biblical times, if you read the Bible and you go along with that Bible, which I know one or two of you don't, but they looked and were taught every day that God's angels come to earth and talk to them and gave them the messages, and angels means messenger. But in today's society, they show up as an angel, they're going to freak the fuck out. But for some reason or another, what you see or your envisionment is, a gray alien, you're not freaked out, which is weird. But that's just short tidbit of thought process on that with that.
Yeah.
So
So we all want to lose a bunch of subs. We should do a chat on aliens and religion.
and section.
I'll do a challenge to anybody. Go out and read the book of Enoch, which was part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. It wasn't in the Bible.
It was
If
left
you
out
read
of
the
the
book of
canon.
Enoch, and if you read it with an open mind, I mean, it is a book,
Yep.
and it is in the old English language, the way it was translated or whatever. Very revealing, and there's probably a reason it wasn't in the Bible. So,
But if you find, in my opinion on this very topic, if you search for the book of Enoch, which is old Hebrew pronunciation of Enoch, not just the modernized book of Enoch that you can find anywhere and everywhere, but a little harder to find it. It's even more detailed in it because the translation was more closely adhered to. Spelt with an H.
Okay, so in other words, we both believe something that isn't necessarily physically provable.
All right.
Yeah, it's not physically proven. It's just you would have to read some of the stuff that I've read. I mean, like I say, we should probably get into this, but
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research on it.
Because it really, if you think about it, both ways, whether you're a person that believes in the text of the Bible or you're a person that believes it was all aliens, either you're just going off of a belief system. You can't prove it one way or the other.
Matt can attest to this. 6 years ago, I believe it was, close to 6 years ago, him and I were talking off air, just bullshitting, just because we were bored and nobody else wanted to talk with us. And somehow or another, we got off the fuck off on religion. My view, his view. We had a solid 3-hour conversation, discussion on religion and variances of the beliefs and this, that, and another. And the first fucking thing he said when we both kind of were like, "Whew, fuck, I'm exhausted, let's get off here," was, "I wish the fuck we'd have aired this."
Yeah. That's true.
Now, I can't remember 99% of the shit we said back then because it was 6 fucking years ago. But we went deep, people. I'm telling you right now, we were deep. And neither one of us was pissed off or nothing because we were having a discussion, not an argument. And we got deep. I'm telling you, I ain't never. Well, I can't say never, but it's been rare times that I've had a conversation like that with somebody that went that fucking deep, and somebody didn't get mad. You know, usually I piss people off.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's just I can't even say that. I think for sure it was aliens in a lot of the things that I kind of question. It's just that I don't know. Was it time travel? Was it aliens? Fuck, I don't know what it was, but there are specific things in the like Dead Sea Scrolls and in the Bible that talk about aircraft of some type. And so it's like, okay, I'll just leave it at that.
How can you not even pay attention a little bit to, I don't want to say caveman drawings, but even back in the quote unquote biblical times, they're finding artwork where there looks like there's a little tiny spacecraft coming through up in the air, and it's not just one or two. There are hundreds of those things. Is the Bible just is it us, the human race, resetting ourselves, saying, hey, look, this is how we fucked up the last time. This is the path we need to follow for our survival, and we're going to put you guys back down here because we had our ark up in the sky or somewhere else, and we're trying to restart it yet again, and the Bible is a guidebook. I mean, it's all up for...
It's been 2 hours. Can I take this full circle?
Okay.
I'm going to take this full circle back to the start, which is whether it's gods, a god, angels, or aliens. Have you noticed we haven't had as many sightings lately? You know why? Pokemon Go. They said, fuck it, this race is doomed.
Right.
Everybody's looking down at their phone. They're not looking at the freaking sky.
Exactly.
There you go. That was full circle right there.
Yep, right back to technology destroying the world.
That's right. Back to the Pokemon.
Well, back before there was TV and radio and all that, people used to look at the sky at night and go, what the hell was that? Now it's everybody's down on their phone texting or something. Nobody's looking up. Ain't no telling what's going over our heads right now.
Right.
Exactly.
I gotta take a head break. Be right back.
Misfit said, y'all motherfuckers need some Slayer in your life. Misfit, I got some motherfucking Slayer in my life.
I never was a Slayer fan.
It used to be Payback. The song Payback used to be my entry song when I was walking to the cage.
Yeah.
Hey, what was that? What was that song that you had on the other day when you were driving?
Oh, that was
Wilson Phillips.
Regular People. That was Regular People by Pantera.
Okay.
Wilson Phillips.
Matt was doing a Manila Villa. What the fuck is that guy's
Milli Vanilli.
lip syncer? Milli Vanilli?
Yeah, Millie to Vanilli, yeah.
Matt, you need to make that video. Little Wilson Phillips cranking in the background, driving down the road with your hair fucking flowing.
Who?
Exactly.
No, I know who they are. The blonde
Is
is
there
hot.
helmet laws in Arizona?
What?
Is there helmet laws in Arizona?
No.
No?
I would have moved here if there was a helmet law. Yes, I'm that fucking simple. I would not if there was a helmet law. I don't care how good the gun laws are.
There was a lot of places up. We cruised up to Maine, and there was a few states no helmet laws. It's pretty cool.
North Carolina's got a helmet law.
Does South Carolina? No.
They do, but they don't enforce it. The only helmet law we have, if you're under 25, you have to have a helmet on, but they don't enforce it.
Huh.
But I wear a helmet, but that's just me, I guess I'm Safety Sally. I don't know.
I wore a helmet once. Well, not once, but the only time I ever wore a helmet was when I would go down to the Smokies. Because Tennessee has them.
Tennessee has a bunch of what?
Tennessee has a helmet law, so whenever I would ride down to the Smokies from Ohio, because Ohio and Kentucky don't have helmet laws, neither does Indiana, and Michigan, their helmet law was screwy at the time because their helmet law didn't say it had to have to be a DOT helmet. It just said head protection, and so you just wore a fucking do-rag, and the cops would pull you over and give you a ticket, and then the ticket would go away because the way the law was wrote.
That's fine. Well, I can tell you.
I think Georgia is something like that. You can damn near just have like a leather do-rag and that counts, or so. You know what I mean? Some crazy shit like that. I could be wrong on that, but I think Georgia has something where you just it's basically have to have something on your head or something. I don't know.
In PA, you don't have to wear a helmet, but yet they require you to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, I've never understood that. That's been one of my pet peeves for a long time. Is why do I have to wear a seatbelt in a car with airbags, but I don't have to wear a helmet on a bike? Not that I want to wear a helmet on the bike, but it just makes no sense.
I always wore one just because, I did whenever I had a bike. I always freaking wore one just because. It's not that I was afraid of my driving. I was afraid of the asshole that didn't see you. And I wasn't one of those. I had a Ninja. I had one of them, but still, it was. Yeah.
Well, we got the seat.
Driver.
We got a seatbelt law in South Carolina, but you can ride in the back of a truck.
Yeah. Them Ninjas and Gixxers and all those other crotch rocket bikes. Those bikes just breed stupidity. They really do. I mean, I have yet to meet somebody, and people were like, I don't ride down on mine, but you have once, at least once, because of the bike. Like, oh, these things go fast, so I'm going to do it at least once.
But so does everybody else, regardless if you have a Harley or a fucking whatever.
Not true.
You don't think?
That's not true.
You've never once gone 100 miles an hour on a Harley or something like that? Just because you could?
I didn't say me. I didn't say me. But I know people who bought like baggers and shit like that. Unless they're passing somebody, they don't speed. Never have. Of course, they wear a helmet, and they're safety Nazis. They wear a helmet. They damn near wear a fucking yellow vest when they're riding. I mean, yeah.
I have a hate for crotch rockets. I really do, because they think if they gas it, they're done. I refuse to stop chasing them. It's one of those deals, and I'm sure you guys will give me hate on it as well. But you know what? If you're being an idiot going around a curve at 100 miles an hour where there's driveways and side streets and everything else, there's so many reports basically where a crotch rocket slams into a fucking driver's side of a car pulling out because they have no reactionary time, and everybody's killed: the driver, the passenger, the car, plus the operator of the crotch rocket. I mean, if you're a crotch rocket driver, which TR I know you are, I'm not now, but damn. And it's mostly the group pack mentality. It's not a 3 or 4 guys out enjoying the ride, or TR just driving down his mountain, or however. It's that pack mentality, the fucking wheelies down the road with disrespect for fuck that. I'm glad we don't have regulations that I can't chase them fuckers. We chased the last one till we wrecked, and I don't care, and I will say it, I don't care. It was his choice. I'm just glad nobody else was hurt.
Yeah. In my defense, which not a good defense, but in my defense, if you ever go back and watch any of my motorcycle, when I say going pretty fast, you got to remember on that little crotch rocket I got, it's only a 250, one cylinder. But it goes through the curves pretty fast. If you watch the videos, the little runs I only do those where there's no roads. Some of them, well, they may be one or two driveways. I can't say 100%, but usually it's a little strip where I know for a couple of miles there's no roads and driveways and stuff like that. And but there again, I'm on a 250 climbing the mountain. I'm not doing. When you're doing 35 in a hairpin curve that's a 180-degree turn, that's about all you can do, whether it's a 1,000 or a 250. You know, I'm only doing like 30, 40 miles an hour.
Oh yeah. That little 250 barely gets out of its own way. And, you know, in comparison to some of the other bikes, and I wasn't really talking about like the 250. You know, I was talking about like your Hayabusas and shit like that are. They're designed to be on the racetrack. That's, you know, it just so happens that people started.
Yeah, I don't even understand the 1,000 crotch rocket. Because I've rode them. It's like, not that I want to say why is this legal. It's just like, why does this exist? You're driving a funny car on the road, a dragster. This is a full-fledged freaking dragster. Why is this on the road? You can't push this bike. You can only get killed or get, you know, at best wind up in a hospital. That's the only reason for this bike.
Now, to be fair, Misfit says almost as bad as the Harley rider that puts retarded loud pipes on his bike and revs it in his driveway for 20 minutes all the time. He's probably working on it. That's probably why he's sitting in the driveway revving it. He's probably working on it. I'm not going to lie. He's probably trying to stop that oil leak or, you know, stop the plugs from fouling or something like that. Just the carburetor.
I'm going to get a moped.
Mopeds are like fat chicks. They're really cool until your friends see you riding one.
That's right.
And with that, why don't we go ahead and end this chat?
Yes.
It's been over 2 hours. I'll let Johnny have the last comment there. And so, before everybody starts bailing out, I don't know if I'm going to have a Tuesday night chat or not. I'm going to try. I'm not going to be home. I will be at a remote location. If the internet works, I'll do the chat.
TR, are you going to be riding a moped?
No, I won't be on a moped. No, I'm going camping. And I have done a chat before where I'm going, so I'm assuming it'll still work. So if it works, I'm going to go ahead and do it. But just a forewarning, if I can't get connection or something, I won't be able to do it. But my plan is to go ahead and do the Tuesday night chat. I may go ahead and bump it up and do it at 9, do it just 30 minutes early. But other than that, I'll let everybody do their outros, and I'm going to start with Blue this time.
I thought you said you were going to start with Johnny.
I started with...
You
said no, I let Johnny have the last comment as far as the chat.
All right. Oh, thanks for the chat. It was a great time as always. I love meeting up with you guys. It's like going to the bar and meeting from hundreds of miles away. So it's awesome as always. Again, just to plug in that giveaway, I am putting the speed loader, which I'm pointing because it's right here, but the speed loader as one package, and the other package, if you want the silver instead, I'm going to up that to 2 for right now. It may go up farther, 2 ounces. But make sure you guys follow the quote-unquote rules. If you want in on the speed loader or the silver, it's got to be a VR. I mean, I'm still getting people that are typing in, you know, I want in, that speed loader's awesome, I want to get it. You're not going to get it with a comment. If you want to go back and do a VR, I won't erase your comment, but I'll just null it. So that's pretty much it. And get in on it.
Again?
I'm sorry?
When does it end again?
Oh Christ, it's like August 25th or something.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to get in on it.
Blue's all about the rules. You hear that tyranny coming out again?
See, there it is.
Just follow the rules. You might get by.
Damn it! If I could open up that thing on my phone again quick enough, I'd
better comply.
All right, Johnny. You want to do an outro, man?
Sure. Johnny the Mastodon's Done channel. Conundrum is this Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, as usual. Stop by and check out a few of the videos. I know most 99% of the last, at least the last year, is nothing but chat videos. But if you go back further, I actually had one or two interesting videos. So hit it up.
Yeah, I think it was. I see his comment. I think it was Misfit that was saying that about your outro, Blue. Stop resisting and subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. Yeah, he's saying that should be your new catchphrase.
All right, Matt. You like to do an outro, man?
Loud pipes save lives. And, oh, man, do I hurt. And check out Pop's Quest for your really cool mag loaders. And watch Johnny's videos.
That's my line.
My Mac loader don't have that writing on it.
And make sure you tie your knots properly, because Rick will come get you if you don't.
And follow the safety rules.
Don't forget to choke the chicken for TR. And then there's Blue. And get in Blue's contest. And comply with the rules of the contest.
That's right.
Or else.
Sounds Klingon. Comply. Comply.
And when you get a chance, check out Resist the Tyranny, Guns, Gear, and Politics. I got videos.
You do?
Yeah.
That's what you do to me all the time.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
And I'll just say, loud pipes do make a difference. That little pocket rocket I got, that little 250, I changed the muffler on it, and to start with, I didn't put the baffle in it, and that little 250 was loud and annoying. I actually quieted it down a little bit. A little quick story, real quick. I went through a McDonald's drive-thru to get a biscuit, and it's a single cylinder, so it don't really sound really cool. The fucking manager of the McDonald's come up to the window and was looking around. He said, "Man, I thought a fucking helicopter was out here and landing in the parking lot." Because there's a but I did notice people didn't pull out in front of me as much after putting a louder muffler on it. So.
Yep, I used to have a set of 1 3/4 gooseneck drags on my '79 Sportster. It was a rigid frame, chopped out a little bit. It was a pretty cool bike. But man, is that cackly loud motherfucker. I mean, almost too loud even to ride it. But always people said, I could hear you from a couple miles away. Good. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did notice a difference. And then when I loudened my Shadow, modified it, I did notice a difference. There is truth to that. All right, Rick, go ahead, man. Do an outro.
Thanks again, guys, for showing up, helping TR's thing. Definitely get over to Blue's channel and get in this contest. Become a subscriber if you haven't. And as Matt said before, but Other than that, thanks again, TR. Thanks again out there, and appreciate it.
All right, with that, we'll wrap this up. Thanks everybody in the audience for coming in and hanging out with us. And wasn't real, well, I don't know. It was a good chat. Covered a lot of topics, just kind of BSing as I always really doing, but hit on a lot of subjects, and that's good. Um, and we'll do it again. You know, we never know what we're going to talk about, how serious, how goofy the chat's going to be. I wouldn't say goofy, but just random, and we'll do it again. And like I said again, I'll try to do the Tuesday night chat. I can't guarantee it, but should be able to pull it off. And we'll see everybody later. Later,
I am
everybody.
a cop, and you will respect my authority.